Good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. We're so excited that you are here with us today. One thing that we can start off really fun, right? We're starting a new series today
Got to make it fun.
called Make It Fun.
Make
and
it
so,
fun.
So we want to hear from you, okay? In the chat, in the comments, what is something fun that you did this week?
We had a couple days to ourselves, which was nice.
Yes.
So we hadn't been on a date in about 2.5 months because of, the virus and everything and have our kids. So kids went to go spend the night with Nani and Poppy.
We shipped them off.
And so that was something fun. But no, Ben and I, when we were kids, we used to play Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Genesis.
Yeah, Sega.
Wow, dating ourselves there a little bit, even though we're not old by any stretch of the imagination.
But we sat down Friday night and we played some games on there. It was so much fun. We played Sonic Spinball. That's what it is. I want to say pinball, but it's Spinball. It was so much fun. So that's something fun that we did. But put in the comments, what are you doing that is fun?
Yeah.
We want to hear all about it because maybe it's something we want to try.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, as always, we're going to enter into worship because that's fun, Everybody's like, yeah, that's fun. But it is. Worship can be so fun. It is. It's just thanking God for who he is. And, I think it's a good thing to sometimes, when you're entering into worship, you really start with that thanksgiving because it's showing God, like, God, there's so many great things in my life. And that's really the reason why we worship, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have really worshiped God, after you are done, you should feel lifted up.
Yeah.
A little bit. You should feel like the weight has lifted off your shoulders just a little bit. And that's one of the reasons that God wants us to worship him. And it just helps us get our perspective straight.
Yeah.
And so we are going to take a few minutes here and worship. And so something that really helps us to worship and to stay focused in it, definitely focus on the words. They'll be on the screen for you, but maybe stand up.
Yeah.
And just kind of get to moving, get the juices flowing a little bit. It's early for some of us at 10 a.m., right? But let's just worship together here for a few minutes.
Come on and sing this with me. Sing, greater is the one.
And greater is the one who's in us. Greater is the one who calls our name. He will never fail. drawn into your holy presence, Lord. And our longing hearts are captured by your voice. And pour your spirit, oh God, on us. Teach us love that calls the broken heart. We are one in you alone. And we won't back down, so the whole world knows. Our confession remains that in our lives, Lord, you reign. We stand as one, we are greater together. Bound by love, God, we are nothing without you. We are greater together. Yes, we are, God, we're greater together. Come on and sing your salvation. Your salvation burns with unrelenting joy. Yes, it does, Jesus. Redeeming sons and daughters, forever we are yours. And pour your spirit, oh God, on us. Teach us love that calls the broken heart. We are one in you alone. And we won't back down. And we won't back down. So the whole world knows. Our confession remains that in our lives, Lord, you reign. We stand as one. We are greater together. And bound by love, God, we are nothing without you. We are greater together. And our confession remains that in our lives, Lord, you reign. We stand as one. We are greater together. And bound by love, God, we are nothing without you. We are greater together. Yes, we are, Jesus, so much greater, greater. Come on and sing, pour your spirit. And pour your spirit, oh God, on us. And teach us love that calls the broken heart. We are one in you alone. And we won't back down, so the whole world knows. Our confession remains that in our lives, Lord, you reign. We stand as one, and we are greater together. Oh, bound by love, God, we are nothing without you. Oh, we are greater together. Sing it again. Our confession remains that in our lives, Lord, you reign. We stand as one, we are greater together. Oh, bound by love, God, we are nothing without you. Oh, we are greater together. Our confession remains that in our lives, Lord, you reign. We stand as one, we are
So we are heading into the message today. Like I said, we're going to start a new series. Make
Yeah.
it fun. Make it fun, because if you're like us, we've tried different ways to make it fun, over the last couple of months and things like that, but we've kind of run out of some ideas, and so we need to really, really make it fun. And one of the ways that we want to make it fun this morning is for you to greet each other, okay?
Yes.
Greet each other. And we put up a slide that kind of gives you a little bit of coaching on what to say and things like that. Last week, I loved it. A lot of people said, "What's up? Hola," things like that. I love that. And
Heyo.
it makes it fun, okay? So go ahead, take 20 seconds and say hi to someone in a unique and different way. Make it fun. So week number 1 today of our new series, Make It Fun.
Make it fun.
We are excited for this because we believe that there needs to be more fun in our lives, not just in our family time, or not just when we're going to the movies, or whatever you do for fun, but in your work. At church, in spending time with your kids, sometimes it's not always fun,
Right.
but we're going to help you with that. Okay. So we're going to start off in the Old Testament, and remember that in our series of Reclaiming Irresistible, we talked about how we're no longer under the law of the Old Testament because Jesus came and finished that law and started a new covenant. But we can still look back at the Old Testament for historical value, for just looking back on how people had a relationship with God and a relationship that God had with other people, because God is the same today, yesterday, forever. He's the same. His character, his nature doesn't change. And so we're going to look back at Ecclesiastes today, 8:15, and we're going to just look at how people were having fun back then, okay? And we can kind of just learn some things from this. So Ecclesiastes 8:15 says that, "So I recommend having fun." That's awesome.
Bingo.
I
Bingo.
recommend it,
Enough said. Church is over.
That's right.
Make it fun, guys.
Because there is nothing better for people in this world than to eat, drink, and enjoy life. That way they will experience some happiness along with all the hard work God gives them under the sun. So this writer understood that God was recommending for us to have fun. And that's not just because he said it in the Old Testament doesn't mean he doesn't want us to do it now, those kind of things of adding happiness in our life. But we can learn from this. So he wants us to experience happiness along the way with all the hard work that God gives us. Okay, so adding joy to the journey. That's what this whole series is about, is adding joy to the journey.
Who needs some? Need some joy
Yes.
today through all this stuff. We all need some joy. We need
Everybody needs joy
but it
right
comes
now.
with choices that we make to add it in. It's
Exactly.
not just going to come in on its own, okay? You got to understand that.
And that's actually going to be one of our points that we talk about too. But in this verse, it's not saying that, it's just saying nothing better, but it's not saying that nothing else matters. But what he's saying here is there's nothing better, because he understood that there was going to be times in our lives where hard times were going to come, struggles were going to come, we have hard days at work or whatever, and we were going to need some happiness and joy along the way. Mm-hmm. So it's saying basically fun, you can have fun while you're working hard, fun while you're at church, fun while you're serving others. It makes me think of Mary Poppins.
Yep.
That song, "Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down." Well, in the very beginning, she says, you have to find the fun and snap. The job's a game. So it's so true. That's how life is. You have to find the joy, to find the fun, and snap. The job becomes a game. It can become fun. Fun is an essential ingredient into having the best life ever. And they understood this, and God wants us to find the fun.
Yeah, and I've heard it said that you'll never work a day in your life if you enjoy the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
It'll feel like it's just enjoyable. It's fun to do it. It'll never feel like work. So sometimes you just got to find fun, and we'll get into that. But there are 4 things that you should know, that we want you to know about finding fun in your journey.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 1, numero uno. I don't know what 1 is in French. We haven't got that far. So
It makes me think of Juan.
Juan.
You're number one.
You're number Juan.
Miss you, buddy.
Fun is intentional.
Yes.
Fun is an intentional thing. It's something that it can happen to you, but it's also supposed to happen through you. It's not just supposed to be a life that we live for the outside to affect us and we just become affected by the outside. We're supposed to affect the area around us, the people that are around us. People are supposed to find fun through us, through you. And so we've got to do this. It's got to be an intentional thing. It can't be up to everyone else to be fun and to find it.
Yeah, we can't
for
allow
you.
what people are doing to us to affect us in that negative way.
No, it can't be up to everyone else. It's your fun, your joy is up to you. And it makes me think of our younger daughter Eve, who in general she hears a noise and she gets up. So it's like sometimes she's up at 6 a.m. and she's just walking in, trucking along.
No, she's not walking in. It's
running,
she's running.
Right? Or we can hear her in her room and she's just doing stuff with her stuffed animals and she's like, hey, don't do that to me. All these things. It's like 6 a.m. and she's waking all of us up, but she's finding the joy in her situation.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense to her. She doesn't care how loud she is. She doesn't care that it's waking us up. She is in it for the joy, for the fun that she is trying to experience for herself. So how can this apply to you when you're working, when you're serving, when you're going to school, when you're giving, when you're praying? What all of these things can become a burden.
Yeah.
It can feel like a heavy weight, feel like something that's it's just expected of me now. It's all of these different things that I'm just not enjoying it. But you have got to celebrate it and make it fun intentionally.
Yeah.
There's got to be a choice and a point in time where you say, I'm going to have fun. Where is the most enjoyable part? How can I do this maybe a little differently that is going to let me enjoy myself? But it's just happiness along with the work when you're intentionally having fun, making it fun. So let's hear from you. We want to hear from you. Chat, comments, all this. What do you do to make your work more fun?
Ooh, that's a good
Okay,
one.
what do you do to make your work more fun? And just the answer, I make more money, that's not good enough, right? Like having money, it can be fun, but that's not all there is to life.
What do
There's
you
got to
do
be more.
while
What are the
you're
things you're
working?
doing to make it more enjoyable? I can always tell when Heather has started to cook or bake something when I'm working downstairs in the office because I
Not
hear
just the smell.
not
It
just the
smells
smell,
good.
not just the smells, but I know when she begins the process because she always turns on music. She's listening to Nat King Cole and different folks from that genre. I hear it come on and I'm like, oh, she's making something awesome, right? Right. That's fun for me too. She is having fun through that situation for me. But right now, it may not sound fun to go volunteer and use your time. It may not sound fun to go to work. It may not sound fun to tithe, to give to God through our church. It may not sound fun to do things, right? But
Be around your family.
Be
a
around
lot.
your family. It may not sound fun to stay home with your kids all day, every day, extendedly. We really don't know exactly when things are going to change. The phases are rolling out, but we don't know, right? We've got to find the fun.
Yeah.
We've got to find the fun. So we are the light of the world, right?
Yeah.
We have to bring light. We have to bring life with us. We've got to bring fun. People are going to see it. They're going to take notice. Serve and make it fun.
And I think that a lot of times, like you were talking about Eve, and how, she's in her own world, kind of thing. And, she is so intentional about things though. Like she will make us, like, when can we play this game? Like she wants to plan that out. Like she gets the game out and she's
What
like,
time?
okay, what time? She's very intentional about that because she understands the fun's going to happen at this time, and you have to plan sometimes for that. But I think the biggest thing we need to remember about fun, and I know it's number 2, but it's really important that fun is spiritual. We talked about how it's found in Ecclesiastes, and that God's desire for us is to find happiness along the journey. But the biggest reason is because fun is fuel for our spirit.
Right.
It really is. It's fuel for our spirit. In Proverbs 17:22, It says, a happy heart is good medicine, and a joyful mind causes healing. I mean, it's true. If you think about that verse, that, you know, the way that you think about yourself or situations, when you start to think like God thinks and you replace those thoughts of fear with faith, like it changes your perspective, but it really brings happiness. It really brings joy. So when you're feeling anxiety or you're fearful or whatever, when you start thinking like God does, when you have a joyful mind, it causes healing in you, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. So basically, fun isn't physical, okay? It's not physical. And like Pastor Ben said, it doesn't come from anybody else, but you have to choose joy. It's a choice. It's not physical. Even like with money, making more money at your job. Yeah, that can be fun. Money can't make you have fun. It can help you have fun. Okay, you can do fun things with money. But truly, laughter and joy get us through the hard times, not money.
Yeah, no, money is just a tool.
Yeah,
it does what we tell it to do.
Well, and it's so nice that God allows us to make money and to be able to buy things that are like vacations, things like that, cars, whatever we need or want sometimes to have fun and bring happiness through that. But these right now, these are tough times. Yeah. And we all need fun and that fuel for our spirit, and it's food for our soul, and fun brings healing. We were just talking to Kira this morning about how she said that my mom told her that when she's older, because she said, Nani, when I'm 16, I'm going to drive over to your house and I'm going to stay the night. And Nani said, you know, even when you're an adult, if you want to come over to my house and stay the night, you're more than welcome, you know, to come over. And I said, man, I wish I had that. And she said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, I lost all my grandparents before I was 13. And, you know, when my grandpa died in 2003, it was really, really difficult because, you know, I was really close to him, and something that was just a difficult time for our family, and something that really got us through was we told stories. We told stories about my grandpa and our time with him. And there were times we just laughed so hard. I mean, that gut-wrenching laugh that, like, if you don't stop, you're like gonna have a stomach ache the rest of the day because you're laughing so hard, but it was needed and it brought healing to our family. And it was a sad time, but when laughter comes, what happens? What happens during time? The heaviness starts to be lifted.
Heaviness lifts up, yeah.
It does. It lifts up, and there is power in laughter and happiness, and that is why God wants you to experience happiness along the way. It's spiritual. It truly is.
Yeah, there's a quote that we found from a woman named Lena Horne, and she said that it's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it.
And that is so
these
true.
heavy things that we carry in life, it's not how heavy it is, it's just how we're carrying it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, belief systems and religion, sometimes it can make us feel more burdened than we should feel by the weight, because the weight is the same no matter what. We are just carrying it differently.
Yeah.
We're having to carry it in a way that's just wearing certain parts of our muscles, so to speak, out. And so then once that happens, we start to compensate in other areas of our life, and it just becomes so overwhelming, and we've got to find the fun. But some of us feel like the more spiritual we are, the less heavy of a burden it'll feel like to be a Christian, to be a follower of Jesus. It's just not true.
Yeah.
We just carry it differently. Studies actually show physically there's an effect that happens for individuals who laugh more, who enjoy life more, who are carrying their loads, this nearly identical loads to you and me. They're carrying them better, and they're staying healthy because laughter actually can help lower blood pressure, can reduce stress. It works out your abs. If you've ever spent time like laughing in an extended period of time, it's a workout. Like
that's probably why my stomach hurts, because I don't work my abs very much.
Right. It makes you sore. It makes you sore the next day, and it can actually lead to an increase in your immune system, because God designed our bodies in such a way that the thoughts that we're thinking and how we are intentionally feeling, there are chemicals released in our bodies to support that.
Good or bad.
To have us feel that way. So that can work out in your favor, or it can work to your detriment.
Yeah.
And it all comes from up here, but it's a spiritual thing. Fun is a spiritual issue that many of us have. We think we have to be too serious. It's not true.
Yeah. Well, and fun is relational.
Yeah.
You know, fun is relational. It brings people together. It's contagious.
Yeah, man. When you are fun, or there's somebody, think in your mind, who is the one person right now in your mind, comes to your mind, I wish I was around them right now. Why? And just stop and ask yourself why. Why do I like to be around them? Because they probably make you feel good, because they're enjoyable to be around, probably because they are fun. It's fun to be around them. And here, listen, we sent out a video earlier this week that listen, don't go to church alone anymore. We don't have to. We don't have the stay-at-home orders, okay? In certain parts, in certain areas, you can be around 10 people or less. You know, the rules kind of change from county to county.
But that's kind of what we're looking at, the basic 10 people or less.
But wherever you are, don't go to church alone.
Yeah.
Go over to somebody's house, invite somebody to your house and have church together. Be responsible about cleanliness and all those things. Okay,
but have an in-person watch party.
Have a watch party together. Watch our church together.
Yeah.
Even if you're in a different state, invite some people over to experience God through our church.
Yeah.
Because fun is relational. There's a relationship aspect that is built through this. Open your home if you can. But relationships are stronger and healthier when they're fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be the first to say when I'm around someone that I feel like is just dragging me down and it's not fun to be around them, I'm looking for an escape route, right? And I know, don't judge me because you probably do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's not fun to be around people that are not fun.
Yeah.
It just drags you down.
What is the thing that we do when either of us are not upset, but just kind of having a bad day or whatever? We kind of just leave each other alone. But then what do? We start try to tickle each other, or you know what I mean? Because you need to bring that fun, because we understand that it brings healing. It brings healing to each other.
It does. And we've just got to stop worrying and being so fearful about they're just not going to accept me. They're gonna see right through me. They're gonna look at, my past is gonna come out and it's just gonna be over. They're gonna throw me to the side. People are gonna be mean to me. It's not true. It's not true. When you're around someone that really loves and cares about you, they may challenge you to be a better person, but they're not going to throw you away at the first sign of something negative. But you've got to give it a chance to get fun. And if maybe you're a person that you just don't feel like you have many friends, maybe that's a sign that you're just being too serious in life and you might need to just lighten up a little bit.
That's true.
That's
true. So we've learned that fun is intentional, it's spiritual, it's relational, but fun really, it's attractional.
Yeah.
I mean, it
really
is attractive and it's contagious, like you just said. You know, with our kids being home right now, and this is their last week of school. Well, last week was their last week of school. And so they're done with school, but this week coming up, we have to take in all of their iPads, all that kind of stuff. And so we, finishing all that up, and to tell you the truth, I'm really happy about it. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but just to not have that stress during all of that, during the tough time, I think with having to stay home, kids couldn't go out, we could barely go out. Having the homeschool, everything changed all at once, and it was just very stressful. And so it'll be kind of nice to have summer. But with the kids right now, let's say that our house was no fun. We didn't play games with our kids. And we have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. So they're in that age where they want to play games. They want to spend time with you. We want to watch movies and things like that. And let's say we didn't do anything with our kids. We were boring or just way too serious. We never played games. We never did anything with them. And this summer, they had the opportunity to play with some friends outside, go ride bikes or whatever. What do you think our kids are going to want to do? They're going to want to be gone. They're not going to want to be at our house. They're going to want to be at somebody else's house, a friend's house. Because when they think of home, it's not fun. I don't want to go home if it's not fun. And that may be how people are looking at you, or you look at others. Are you the type of person that you want to find the joy in life, or are you the type of person that you take things way too seriously? That's me sometimes.
I'm totally guilty. I'm too serious a lot. This is something that I'm working on in myself.
I think it's hard for us a lot of the times because we have work at home.
That's true.
So we work from home, and doing all the church, and church doesn't stop. Church is 24/7. People need us all the time. We have balance, but at the same time, if one of our people need us, or we need to the hospital or something like that, like we do those things. But it's hard for us to separate at times. And so when we're working and our kids want to play, we're just like, no, we can't do that, but we've realized we need to stop sometimes and play with our kids.
Pause. Yeah.
Well, church and life needs to be the same way. I feel like when we grew up, church was so serious.
Oh, totally.
You did not make a sound. You did. I mean, even as kids, on Sunday nights, we had like a 2-hour service. Do you remember Sunday nights?
I remember Sunday nights.
How they didn't have any kids stuff.
No kids church.
None. And it was usually a prayer service or something like that. And we would crawl underneath the pews.
I did the same thing.
And we would play with like Barbies or like Hot Wheels or
G.I. Joes.
yeah. So we
Right.
would play with stuff underneath. But I hated Sunday nights.
It wasn't fun.
I hated it because, okay, hate's a strong word. Hate's a very strong word. Okay, so I disliked it a lot when I was a kid. And I was a kid, so I didn't know really the difference between dislike and hate. But I disliked it so much because we got shushed all the time, and people thought we had to be perfect because we were pastor kids, and we would try to play, but there was nothing for us, and church was fun. Church has to be fun. People aren't attracted to funerals every Sunday.
Correct.
People don't want to go to church that is like a funeral where nobody can have fun. Nobody can do. That's why we add games sometimes to services and jokes and stuff, because it needs to be fun. It needs to be attractional. If everybody else looks at church and says, that is not fun, it's too serious, I don't want to go to that, they're going to want to go to the clubs. They're going to want to go to everything else that's fun, that looks attractional for them. It may not be what's good for them, but they're going to want to go to those things. And why would they want to go to church when it's boring or too serious? Jesus is alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have hope. So that's every reason to celebrate and have fun every single day, every single Sunday, every day in our work, every day in our family. It's a reason to celebrate. Jesus wants us to have fun and enjoy others' company by having fun with them. And we'll actually talk a little bit more next week about how Jesus had fun and things like that. But God and Jesus want us to have fun.
Yep.
It brings a new perspective today to you. Do you need to lighten up? Do you need to lighten up at home? Do you need to lighten up about church? Do you need to lighten up about work right now? Remember, we are the light of the world. We're the light of the world. Not the darkness, we're the light. And what happens when you're in a room and you're trying to find something and it's dark? It's frustrating, right?
Absolutely,
And you hit
it
your
is.
knee on the bed. I do that all the time, and it makes you so mad. You stub your toe.
Yeah,
It's frustrating.
Well, I remember a day when I was a kid, I was at church and I was in a dark room trying to plug in a lamp
Why would you do that in the dark?
because the lights weren't working. So I'm trying to plug in a lamp and my finger was touching one of the prongs and it just got me a little bit. Scared the stuffings out of me. I ran all the way across the building back to my mom.
not
I'm like,
fun.
Mom, I got electrocuted. She's like, oh, you're fine.
And she was like,
oh.
why were you plugging in something in a dark room? But
Yeah.
but it's true. When you're in a dark room and you're stumbling around and you can't find stuff, you need a light. And as soon as the light comes on, or as soon as you find a flashlight, what happens inside? Yes.
Relief.
You have that relief. You have that joy of, oh, I can find this now. Okay, we are that light for other people. And we need to represent something that shines joy and happiness to other people so they can experience the joy and the happiness of having a real relationship, a life-giving relationship with Jesus Christ. People need the fun that you can bring.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe you're sitting there right now, you're listening to this and you're saying, man, I'm far from God. I don't feel this light. I don't feel anything that you've been talking about. I want the fun. I want the stuff. I need something in my life just isn't right. There's something missing. I'll tell you what, it's a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
If something's missing and you don't know what it is, it's Jesus. Just
Even if you have a
be straight with
relationship,
him.
just a closeness with Jesus, like really that closeness, you know what I mean? Because like me, I have times when I miss a day of my devotion and I don't feel that closeness. It has to be an everyday choice.
Yeah, and I'll just say this would be the first step in a lifelong journey of getting closer to Jesus, taking one step closer to Him every single day, being intentional about things. But maybe that's you. If you want to take a step closer to Jesus today, say you're a Christian and you just kind of gotten off base, you've gotten distracted by things, you want Him to get back to the center of your life. we can do that. We can make that decision here today. Maybe you're far from God. You've never been a follower of Jesus before, or you've just been gone for a little while. You can make a decision for Jesus today and come right back.
Yeah.
And come back. And we can do this it's so easy. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Jesus made it so easy on us. You can just pray this prayer right along with me. Just say it with me. It's actually going to come up on the screen for you. Jesus, I want to live for you. I believe you died on the cross for my sins. Be my Lord. Amen. And it's
So
as easy.
easy.
It's as easy as that. Tell that to God from your own perspective. From you, not just say it because I said it.
Yeah.
Tell him that and mean it. Have some conviction behind it.
Yeah.
And just see what he can do with your life. And listen, if you made that decision, if you prayed that prayer with me, I'm so excited for you. Thank you
Super proud
so
of you.
much. I'm so
That's
proud of
awesome.
you for making that decision. And listen, I want to know about it.
Yeah.
So if you prayed that prayer in the chat, in the comments, can you just put those praise hands emoji?
Yeah.
And if emojis aren't your thing, just type I prayed. You know, anything like that, so that we can just follow up with you. We can connect with you, let you know maybe what the next steps are. Because if you're new to anything, knowing what the next step is nearly impossible. Most of the time, we can't figure out what the next step is unless someone's laying it out for us. So if you're
we need
new,
a family that's around us to help us and guide us to the next step.
yeah, absolutely. So if you're new to this, reach out, because we want to know. We want to help you know what the next step for you is as a follower of Jesus.
Yeah. And it just helps us. It helps us get you connected.
Yeah.
That's how you stay in a relationship with Jesus, is when you have a source, a family source like our church family around you, encouraging you, helping you every step of the way. And that's what it really takes. You can't do life alone.
No.
I mean, you can, but
can try.
it's not going to be the best life ever. And you're going to miss out on so many great things that God has for you. But when you get around people who are like-minded, who have a relationship with our life-giving God, who want the best for you and are encouraging you and cheering you on, that's when everything changes.
Yeah.
Well, we just want to let you know that we are so proud of you. We are so proud of you. You guys have been doing an amazing job with the food boxes. And I just want to let you know right now that last Sunday we made a commitment to do 40 more boxes.
40
we did.
more boxes.
We know for a fact that we can do more than that, okay? I'm not sure how much, but we were over 40 by, what day was it? By Tuesday?
Yeah.
By Tuesday of last week, we were over that. So today is the final day for us to do more and above 40. So let's see today how many we can do. We're going to continue the boxes, but let's see how many we can get. Let's see if we could actually do up to the 200.
Yeah, and maybe you're new with us and you don't know what these boxes are we're talking about. These are food boxes that we are essentially buying, we're paying for. They're $25 a piece, and it feeds a general family, depending on how much they eat at each meal, but it'll feed a family for nearly a week.
Yeah.
Right? So we have done, we've bought how many? 120
we purchased.
boxes.
I mean, we
We've
have more
purchased
money
them.
set aside, but
And these boxes go to families in our area right around our church. And so, man, thank you so much. You're doing such a good job.
Such a good
of just
job.
following God's leading. When he speaks, when he's urging you to, when it comes to giving, you should just follow it. Follow what he says when he speaks.
And you guys are, I mean, we have people that we don't even know who are giving.
Yes.
People from Happy Rock, but then people who are just listening online. And everybody, you guys are doing such a good job. So whether you're a part of the Happy Rock family or not, you can give. You can make a difference and change people's lives by giving. So if you feel led to do that, please do that. We have 2 ways up on the screen for you to see it at our P.O. Box or our website. So feel free to do that. If you have set up reoccurring giving, we are so thankful that you have. And thank you for stepping out in faith, because we know that these are uncertain times. And some of you have not gone back to work yet, or you just did. And you're really relying on God for provision. And we're just thankful that you stepped out in faith and you did that. You really did. And so people are finding and following Jesus because of what you're doing. So thank you for that.
Yes, good job.
We do have some exciting things, though, that I've been really thinking about on how we can even help our community even more. And in July, I thought it would be really cool if we did a food drive for the Christmas store.
Yeah.
and did something
absolutely.
called like Christmas in July. And so we'll have more information about that as well. So we can start helping the Christmas store, because a lot of the stuff that they had set aside, they gave so they could help people and families now. And so the supply that they had stored away, it's really that we need to replenish it. And so we'll get more information about that. God is doing great things through you. So thank you so much for doing that. Before you go, though, just wanted to let you know about a couple things. Again, Pastor Ben will be live tomorrow morning at 9:30 for some
9:30.
encouragement. If you can't be part of that right at 9:30, it's no problem. Check it out after you get done with work or throughout the week.
It'll be on the church Facebook page.
Yep.
Happy Rock Church, Kansas City.
Yep, and Pastor Ben will be there on there himself, so you'll see a little video of him. And then we also have worship on Wednesday nights at 7:30 every Wednesday. So make sure you check in with us, because it's another way to remain connected, guys. Since we can't physically meet, because I want you to understand that our church is meeting. Our church is meeting right now. We're just online. That's the only difference. We're just not physically meeting. So I don't want you to think like, oh, I can't wait till church gets back. We are back. We've never left. We're all here together, just online. And so I want you to understand that when we physically meet, it will be different. We'll have a new normal, but stay connected now. Stay connected now. Don't
together
miss
with
what God has
people in
now.
homes.
Yep,
We're
like
s-
Pastor Ben said.
We're still meeting. That's your way of meeting in person right now.
Exactly.
Is to go to someone's house or invite someone to your house to experience church together.
Yes, take this for all it's worth. Your small group, whatever it is, get some ladies together. Get 4 or 5 of you ladies together. Have brunch at somebody's house. Have some coffee. Get together. Okay, you can do that. But hang out right now. Chat a little bit. We give you about like a 4 or 5 minute time where you guys can just hang out. It's kind of like the foyer time after church. But hang out, chat with each other, greet each other, tell each other to have a great week. And we will see you here back next Sunday at 10 a.m.
Yep.
We love you guys.
We love
Bye-bye.
you.